Bueno, Piyu. No, Piyu. Bueno.
Pull the trigger, ride the bullet, cut the crow wrapped around your.
Welcome to Aquatic Wetline. Aquatic Wetline is an aquarium and tropical fish themed live stream video podcast hosted by Aqua Alex CARDINALE. A tropical fish keeper since the young age of 12, Alex has kept everything from monster predatory fish, Oscar cichlids, red-tail catfish, arowanas, bikers, and even stingrays, to community fish, angelfish, discus, tetras, loaches, to saltwater fish. Aqua Alex loves the aquarium hobby and loves sharing his passion and experience with fellow fish hobbyists. Fish keepers, be sure to enjoy this episode. Share this episode on social media. Now let Aqua Alex chat fish.
Hello, tropical fish keepers. Welcome to Aquatic Wetline. I'm your host, South American fish keeper and monster fish keeper, Aqua Alex Cardinale. Today I have an interesting yet controversial topic that I'm going to talk about here on Aquatic Wetline. You know, I've been in the aquarium hobby since I was 12 years old, and I am 29 years old today. So I have been in the aquarium hobby for quite a long time. And I have kept a plethora of different species. I've had monster species like red-tailed cats, iridescent sharks, Oscars, arowana, and pacu. I've had discus and angelfish. I've had community fish, saltwater fish, and now I have goldfish. So I have experienced a lot of different fish. And over my time in the aquarium hobby, I have grown to know a couple of species that I feel don't belong in the aquarium hobby. So tonight, I'm going to dive down deep into the controversial topic of 10 fish I personally feel don't belong in the aquarium hobby. Now, this is just my personal opinion, so please don't get heartbroken if one of your favorite fish gets mentioned. It's just my personal opinion on fish that don't belong in the aquarium hobby. And I'm going to explain why they don't belong in the aquarium hobby. It's going to be 10 aquarium species, both freshwater and saltwater, will be mentioned on the show today. There are going to be some monster fish species that will be mentioned on the show. All right, so to anyone that is watching this video, please feel free to join the conversation. What fish do you think should not be in the aquarium hobby? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate everyone who is watching this video, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the replay. Thank you so much for watching this video. So let's go ahead and get started. And these fish are in no particular order. They're just 10 fish I feel does not belong in the aquarium hobby. And let's start with one of the biggest monster fish in the world, and perhaps one of the largest freshwater fish in the world, and that is the arapaima. The arapaima has no place in the aquarium hobby. Yes, there are fish stores out there that actually do sell arapaima, and it's sad that these fish are being brought into the aquarium hobby because there is literally no aquarium big enough for a arapaima. Certainly no home aquarium big enough for a arapaima. Let's take a look at what an arapaima looks like. and you'll see how big this fish is. Here is an image of a arapaima. Look how big that fish looks. This is certainly a fish that does not belong in any aquarium. There are not that many aquarium hobbyists out there with acres upon acres upon acres of ponds. You really need a river to keep an arapaima, and that's why I feel this fish has no place in the aquarium hobby. It just grows way too big to be in the aquarium hobby. Now, arapaima are native to the Amazon and Esquabo basins of South America. They are among the world's largest freshwater fish, reaching as much as 3 meters. Now, 3 meters is 9.8 feet in length. That's almost a 10-foot fish. How are you going to house a 10-foot fish? You have to think of that. That's why arapaima don't belong in the aquarium hobby. They could get up to 10 feet in length. Now, they are an important food fish in South America. They have declined in the native range due to overfishing and habitat loss. In contrast, arapaima have been introduced to several tropical regions outside the native range, within South America and elsewhere. They are sometimes considered invasive species in other countries. Arapaima can reach lengths more than 2 meters, 6 foot 7 inches, in some exceptional cases, even exceeding 2.6 meters, 8 feet 6 inches, and over 220 pounds. Wow, that is a huge fish. The maximum recorded weight for the species is 440 pounds, while the longest recorded length verified was 10 foot 1 inch. That is a huge fish. How are you going to house this fish in an aquarium? You would need a 30 foot, 40 foot, 50 foot aquarium. The arapaima is torpedo shaped with large blackish green scales and red markings. It is streamlined and sleek with its dorsal and anal fins set near its tail. The diet of the arapaima consists of fish, crustaceans, fruits, seeds, insects, and small land animals that walk near the shore. Because the arapaima can get 10 feet, it can easily take down a monkey, a dog, maybe even a small baby capybara in South America. The fish is an air breather using its labyrinth organ, which is rich in blood vessels and opens into the fish's mouth, an advantage in oxygen-deprived water that is often found in the Amazon River. This fish is able to survive in oxbow lakes with dissolved oxygen as low as 0.5 ppm. In the wetlands of the Aragua, one of the most important refuges for this species, it is the top predator in such lakes during the low water season, when the lakes are isolated from the rivers and oxygen levels drop, rendering its prey lethargic and vulnerable. Arapaima may leap out of the water if they feel constrained by their environment or if they're harassed. They are some of the oldest known species of freshwater fish. Now, arapaima are particularly vulnerable to overfishing because of their size and because they must surface periodically to breathe. Some 7,000 tons per year were taken from 1918 to 1924, the height of commercial arapaima fishing. Demand led to farming of the fish by natives. A 2014 study found that fish were depleted or overexploited at 93% of the sites examined and well managed or unfished In only 7%, the fish appear to be extirpated at 19% of these sites. The status of the arapaima population in the Amazon River Basin is unknown. Hence, it is listed on the IUCN Red List as data deficient. And that is another reason I believe arapaima don't belong in the aquarium hobby. We should not be taking young arapaima from the wild and bringing them into the tropical fish market, because the chances of this arapaima reaching adulthood in a fish keeper's hands are very slim to none, because there are not that many fish keepers out there that have acres upon acres of rivers and lakes to take care of these fish. So don't bring arapaima into the aquarium hobby. They have no business in the aquarium hobby. Now, arapaima play a huge role in South America. Colombia bans fishing and consumption of the arapaima between October 1st and March 15th during breeding season. So right now in Colombia, they cannot fish or eat arapaima because it is breeding season. So arapaima definitely do not belong in the aquarium hobby. When I was living in Massachusetts, I saw a lot of fish stores get arapaima in, and I was like, oh, why are they getting arapaima? Very irresponsible for the fish stores to do that. All right. Well, it's time for me to get hypocritical, because the next fish I'm going to talk about is a fish that I have kept in the past, a fish that I love and respect very much, and a fish that warms my heart every time I see one. And it's a fish that my friend Daryl has, and he's got a big pond that it's going to be going in. And that is the red tail catfish. Let's face it, not every aquarium hobbyist is going to have a huge pond to house this beautiful catfish. And yes, red tail catfish are absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that body. A black catfish with white coloration and orange to red tail. Very, very colorful, if you ask me. But the red tail catfish can reach about 5 foot 11 inches in length and weigh about 180 pounds in weight. Now, generally speaking, most aquarium red tail cats will reach about 3 feet. But in the wild, they can reach up to 5 foot 11 inches. So this is a fish that needs a lot of space, and it belongs in the wild. Now, the red tail catfish is native to the Amazon, Orinoco, and Esquabo river basins of South America. You'll find the red tail cat in Ecuador, Venezuela, Guyana, Colombia, Peru, Suriname, Bolivia, and Brazil. It is only found in freshwater and inhabits larger rivers, streams, and lakes. They eat during the evening and night and stay motionless during the day. They are bottom dwellers and move about quite slowly unless it's feeding time. Red-tailed cats are very territorial. Red-tailed cat are also an invasive species in Malaysia. They are now found mostly in the Perak River and Pahang River. It is said that the natives in South America do not eat the meat of red-tailed catfish because the meat of red-tailed catfish is black in coloration. Due to the large size of this species, red-tailed catfish are considered a game fish by anglers. Now, here's an interesting fact to know about the red-tailed catfish. In some places, it is feared because it has been believed to be the cause of the mysterious drownings of many of the passengers aboard the passenger ship Sabrel Santos II when it sank. Now, I don't know if I believe that because I don't know if a red-tailed cat can make a lot of people drown, but that's a very popular myth going around about the red-tailed cat that I ran into. The red-tailed catfish is an extremely popular fish in Amazonian-themed exhibits at public aquaria, where they're often housed with other large fish, such as pacu and other large catfish. You'll see a massive, I'm talking a massive red-tailed cat at the New England Aquarium. Now, juveniles are often available as aquarium fish, despite their eventual large size. In an aquarium where they may be well fed, these fish can grow quite rapidly. We're talking a couple inches a week, and require tanks of at least 2,600 US gallons when full adult. And let's face it, not everyone is going to be able to provide a 2,600 gallon aquarium for a red-tailed cat. But as someone who has kept red-tailed cats, I love their personality. I love how beautiful they are. They're a great fish, but they just simply get way too big for the aquarium hobby. Unless you have plans of setting up a pool pond or a big pond, please don't get a red-tailed catfish. All right, the next fish I'm going to talk about is another species of fish I will never keep, and it's for the right reasons. It's another South American catfish, and it was featured on River Monsters, and it's well known from South America because of Jeremy Wade, and that is the Paraiba catfish. The Paraiba catfish looks just like a shark. It looks just like a great white shark, which is what may be causing its popularity, and which is why some monster fish stores bring in the Paraiba catfish. But look at how big the Paraiba gets. The Paraiba is one of the largest of the Amazon giant catfish. The Paraiba is an important food fish throughout much of its range, which extends from the headwaters of the Amazon in the Andes to its mouth at the far eastern edge of Brazil, as well as the Guyanas. It's known to undertake massive migrations to spawn. This open water predator is typically found in murky, fast-moving waters in main river channels. It is a widespread species that is found in rivers and estuaries of Amazon and Orinoco watersheds, Guyanas, and northeastern Brazil. They can grow up to 9 feet in length. It is entirely piscivorous. In the wild, it preys on plecos and other lorcarids and other bottom-dwelling fish like catfish. Now, it's generally harmless, but it is known to be an oblate piscivore. However, stomach contents are said to include parts of monkeys. So they can't come up to the surface and eat a monkey if they need to. So if you're thinking about getting a Paraiba, think this. What are you going to do when the fish reaches 4 or 5 feet? When it reaches 4 or 5 feet, it still has a lot of growing to do because the Paraiba catfish can simply get to 9 feet in length. They do not belong in the aquarium hobby, in my humble opinion. All right. Well, the next group of fish I'm going to talk about are a bunch of different species. They were introduced to the aquarium hobby by Asia and Europe. And I am not a fan of these fish by any means of the imagination. And that is short-bodied fish or balloonfish. A lot of popular fish species have short-bodied variants. There's short-bodied mollies, balloon mollies. There's short-bodied gouramis. There's short-bodied Oscars. There's short-bodied red-tailed cats, short-bodied tiger shovelnose, short-bodied Peroon shark, short-bodied arowana, short-bodied Oscars. There's a lot of fish that are short-bodied that are available in the aquarium hobby. And I just don't understand why we need to have short-bodied fish in the aquarium hobby. Here is an example of a short-bodied fish. This is a short-bodied Oscar. Now, it has gorgeous coloration, but it looks deformed. It looks creepy. It looks weird. Do we need that in the aquarium hobby? There is no reason to be selling short-bodied fish in the aquarium hobby. It is cruel to actually do this to the fish. Now, one particular reason why they created short-bodied fish, and in particular the monster species, is that they feel that the monsters won't get as big as short-bodied fish. But the Oscar, red tail, and all those monsters, they still will get quite big. So it really doesn't really work that well. So here's the problem that I have with short-bodied fish. All throughout their life, they suffer. They're going to have health issues. They're going to have short lives due to having shortened intestines and shortened guts. They're going to have digestion problems, and they're going to pass away at a young age. And it's not really fair to the fish. It is really cruel to do that, in my personal opinion. I am just not a big fan of short-bodied fish. And in my opinion, they really have no place in the aquarium hobby. So enough said about short-bodied fish. So we're going to move on to the next species of fish that I feel does not belong in the aquarium hobby. And it is our first saltwater species that I'm going to talk about. And it is a very beautiful saltwater fish, as seen on Finding Nemo, and I believe it was on Finding Dory as well. And that is the Moorish idol. Look, when I had saltwater, I contemplated getting a Moorish idol because I love the looks of the Moorish idol. But these fish are just simply too delicate and too fragile to keep in the aquarium hobby. Here is a picture of a Moorish idol. Isn't that Moorish idol gorgeous? Isn't it a beautiful fish? But the problem with Moorish idols are a lot of them come into the aquarium hobby from the wild, and a lot of them die, unfortunately. So we can save a lot of Moorish idols by not bringing them into the aquarium hobby because they're just too fragile. Now, Moorish idols are a common inhabitant of tropical to subtropical reefs and lagoons. The Moorish idol is notable for its wide distribution throughout the Indo-Pacific. Their range includes East Africa, the Indian Ocean, Persian Gulf, the Ducie Islands, Hawaii, southern Japan, and all of Micronesia. They are also found from the southern Gulf of California south to Peru. With distinctively compressed and disc-like bodies, Moorish idols stand out in contrasting bands of black, white, and yellow, which makes them attractive to aquarium keepers. Moorish idols are also a coveted aquarium fish, but despite their abundance and wide array of habitats, they are notoriously finicky and hard to adjust to captivity. Their omnivorous diet can be extremely difficult to replicate in aquariums, as the vegetation which they live on in the wild is normally exterminated in the aquarium hobby, and they have a habit of eating corals and sponges. Sponges, coral polyps, tunicates, and other benthic invertebrates constitute the bulk of the Moorish idol's diet. Often seen alone, Moorish idols also form pairs or occasionally small schools, especially as juveniles. Now, in the aquarium hobby, Moorish idols are notoriously difficult to maintain in captivity. They require large aquariums, over 100 gallons, are voracious eaters and can become destructive. But the problem with moorischietals is they're typically very picky eaters. They will either eat no food and perish or eat everything all at once. But 9 times out of 10, and this is coming from a fish store that I shop at, they die at the hands of aquarium hobbyists. So they don't belong in the aquarium hobby, in my personal opinion. So far we've talked about 5 species that don't belong in the aquarium hobby. Right now is the perfect time to go ahead and take a quick intermission. This intermission is being brought to you by my supporters. Jeremy Stellhorn, the owner and founder of Little Egypt Aquarium Club, is providing this intermission. If you need quality fish food and quality aquarium supplies, please check out littleegyptaquariumclub.com. And remember, you can save 10% by using discount code ALEX. Also, during this intermission, you're going to see a commercial for our 9-year YouTube anniversary, which is coming up this Monday and Tuesday. I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. The fun continues with 5 more species right after this.
Are you a tropical fish keeper living in South Florida? You need to check out Aquatic and Exotic in Stuart, Florida. Aquatic and Exotic is home to quality freshwater and saltwater tropical fish. You will find African cichlids, South and Central American cichlids, goldfish and koi, and exotic fish. We also supply aquarium supplies like filters and heaters, aquariums, and lights. We also have quality fish food brands. Aquatic and Exotic is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Questions? Give us a call at 772-781-4046. Stop on by and check us out. 1525 A.C. Lockhart Street, Stuart, Florida 34994.
Hey fish keepers, Aqua Alex Cardinale here. Proud to announce that I am partnering with Little Egypt Aquarium Club, founded by tropical fish keeper Jeremy Stellhorn from Redbud, Illinois. Little Egypt Aquarium Club supplies aquarium hobbyists all across the United States with quality aquarium supplies. At Little Egypt Aquarium Club, you will find rapashi, a really good fish food. You'll also find freeze-dried foods, medicated foods, pellets and wafers for your fish, breeding supplies, driftwood, filters, and so much more. Little Egypt Aquarium Club is operated by fish keepers such as Aqua Alex and Jeremy Stellhorn for fish keepers like yourself. You'll get free shipping on orders over $200. And don't forget, you can save money with Aqua Alex. You'll get 10% off your order by using coupon code ALEX. That's right, fish keepers. Bruno, my tiger Oscar behind me, and Aqua Alex want to save you 10%. Use coupon code ALEX to get 10% off your order. Go to littleegyptaquariumclub.com after the show. Happy fish keeping, and go check out Little Egypt Aquarium Club after the show.
Pull the trigger, ride the bullet, cut the cord wrapped around your neck. Hanging by threads, hands bleeding. It's your glory, write your story, seize the moment, no regrets. Our name in stone forevermore. We want more, we want more, we want more. It's our time to shoot the stars. We ain't gonna stop till the world is ours.
That's right. Monday, March 6th and Tuesday, March 7th. This Monday and this Tuesday, I will be celebrating my 9th year as a YouTuber, and I, Aqua Alex, will be doing fish unboxings both nights, and also I will have a featured South American fish. Well, welcome back to this episode of Aquatic Wetline, and tonight I am talking about 10 fish species that do not belong in the aquarium hobby. I've already discussed 5, and now I'm going to close out the show with the other 5 species that I feel don't belong in the aquarium hobby. If you're just tuning in, or if you would like to be a part of the show, let me know what fish you think should not be in the aquarium hobby. Just post it in the comments and let me know in the comments. What fish do you think should not be in the aquarium hobby? Post your answers in the comments. So let's get right back to it, and we'll continue talking about fish that don't belong in the aquarium hobby. Our next fish is another saltwater fish. It's another beautiful saltwater fish at that. And it's the copper band butterfly fish. Let me get an image of the copper band butterfly for you. Why is it doing that? Okay, let's see. Let me get an image of the copper band butterfly for you. There we go. So the copper band butterfly fish, very beautiful saltwater fish, right? But the problem with the copper band butterfly fish is they're also very finicky, like the Moorish idol, and they can die from not getting enough food. Now, the copper band butterfly fish is found in reefs in both the Pacific and Indian Oceans. They are usually found on coral reefs or rocky shorelines, and also in estuaries and slitty inner reefs. This species is territorial. Copper band butterfly fish can grow to 8 inches, but in a home aquarium are usually half that size. They do well at a normal reef temperature range of 75 to 84 degrees Fahrenheit, with a tank size of at least 75 gallons and plenty of live rock to graze on. This species can be considered reef safe. It will eat many inverts, including parasitic forms such as tube worms and others. Many aquarists introduce the copper band butterfly just to get rid of these pests without giving consideration to their long-term needs for survival. Given a choice, Aptasia is the least favored food. The butterfly fish preys on all tube and substrate worms, clams, and mollusks. This is not a recommended fish for inexperienced aquarists, as it requires excellent tank conditions to thrive or even survive. Now, unfortunately, a lot of copper band butterfly fish have died at the hands of inexperienced aquarists, and like the Moorish idol, they do have a high mortality rate in the aquarium hobby, which is why I feel it does not belong in the aquarium hobby. So that's the copper band butterfly fish. Now, the next species I feel doesn't belong in the aquarium hobby is another species that is near and dear to my heart. It's a fish that I have kept a lot growing up, and it's a fish I have a lot of love and respect for. It's a large cheracin, perhaps one of the largest cheracins in the world. It is in the family of piranhas. It is the pacu. There are a couple of species of pacu: red belly pacu, black pacu, also known as tambaki, and the yellow belly pacu. But all those species get way too large for home aquariums. Now, pacu are very intelligent fish. They're very smart. But the problem with pacus is they get massive. We're talking 3 feet or larger. And not many aquarium hobbyists have a tank size to handle a pacu. Pacu also break aquariums. I have seen videos on YouTube of pacu breaking 55 gallons, 75 gallons. So they really don't belong in the aquarium hobby. They simply just get way, way, way too big for any aquarium. And I live in southern Florida. There are pacu out in the local waters here in South Florida. They are becoming an invasive species because aquarium hobbyists cannot handle the size pacu get. And I'm pretty sure most public aquariums, like the New England Aquarium, are going to start turning people away because they have nowhere to put other pacu. So to help curb that, we should make pacu illegal, unless someone has a big pond to house pacu. The problem is pacu are available at pet stores for such a small price that people get them because they think they're piranhas, but they're not. They're in the family of piranhas, but they're not the ferocious killers. Pacu are actually omnivorous, meaning that pacu like meat and vegetable matter in their diet, whereas piranhas are strictly carnivores. But pacu are a nice fish, but you just get way, way too big. Beginners should not get them, and people that don't have ponds or large aquariums should not have access to them, in my humble opinion as well. And again, that's coming from a guy that loves the Cerasomidide family. I love Pygrocentris, I love Cerasomus, I love Mentinus, I love Mylius, I love Mylosoma. I love a lot of the different Cerasomidide family fish, but I'll stick with the Mylosoma and Mylius because they stay a lot smaller than pacu. So pacu are another fish that don't belong in the aquarium hobby. All right, the next fish we're going to talk about is the only fish on this list that I currently have right now, and it helps with leftover food and the algae in my big aquarium, and that is the common Plecostomus. Now, there is a common misconception that goes around about the common Plecostomus. People think that common plecos only eat algae. No, they don't only eat algae. It is true they are good algae eaters when they are young, but they must eat other food as they mature. They're pretty much omnivorous, common plecos are. So they need algae, and they also need a source of meaty proteins, which can come from pleco wafers, catfish wafers, shrimp pellets, etc. Because as common plecos mature, if they're not getting a source of protein, then they're likely to suck the slime off of vulnerable species. Stingrays, Polypterus, and fish like that will get their slime coat sucked by a common pleco because they're not getting enough protein. So that's one reason why common plecos don't belong in the aquarium hobby. They're not really good algae eaters. Another reason is they get massive. Common plecos can reach 2 feet or larger. So not everyone's going to have a tank to handle a common pleco. But if you live in a warm area like I do in South Florida or California, and you have access to outdoor koi ponds or pool ponds, then you could probably keep a common pleco. But 50% or more of everyone that's in the aquarium hobby lives in cold states, and they don't have ponds or really large aquariums. So there are better plecos to keep in the aquarium hobby. The green phantom pleco is a good one. Bushy nose plecos or bristle nose plecos are a good one. And some of the fancier types are a much better choice than the common Plecostomus. All right, so the next species I'm going to talk about is going to be very controversial. Just like the short-bodied fish was controversial, I know that this species is going to be controversial because there are people that actually like these fish. And I hold nothing against people that like and keep these fish. However, I, Aqua Alex, am a natural person. I like natural everything, including my fish. I like my fish to be 100% natural and not man-made. So, in my opinion, flower horns and blood parrots do not belong in the aquarium hobby. And there's a very good reason for that. And I'm going to tell you why I think flower horns and blood parrots don't belong in the aquarium hobby. Because, quite simply, both these fish were produced in fish farms from hybridizing different cichlids that would have never met in the wild. And we don't know what species the original parents were because that's kept secret. They have never told us what the actual cichlids were. Now, there are rumors out there that they're Severums, Red Devil, Viaja, but we don't know what the original cichlids were. Whatever it was, in both cases, flower horns and blood parrots suffer because they were given horrific deformities for the sole purpose of looking appealing or funny to people. These fish suffer from many diseases and illnesses from their genetic mutilation, but the physical deformities affect them their entire life. Now, if you ever watched a parrotfish try to eat, they can't close their mouth, and their physical deformities make them have trouble swimming. So a parrotfish can't eat normally like another fish would. So if you keep parrotfish with normal fish, the parrotfish is going to suffer. Flower horns have giant humps on the front of their face, forcing them to be kept in tanks with nothing in them because they can scratch the hump badly because the fish doesn't know how big the hump is. Parrotfish can't even breed naturally. The females can sometimes breed with other cichlids, but the males are sterile. Both these fish can be found in nearly every aquarium store, and many horrible things are done to them on the fish farms just to make them more appealing, such as dyeing fish or giving flower horns tons of hormones to make the hump temporarily bigger while it's in the fish stores. It's a shame that this is happening, and in my opinion, the flower horn and blood parrot does not belong in the aquarium hobby. And again, that is just my opinion on these fish. Shout out to my friend and my sponsor, Kelly Love, who is in the house. She says, interesting facts about fish. To learn about these fish. Yes, I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. And we've got one final species to talk about. And this is a very popular fish, and it's popular because of the movie Finding Dory. Finding Dory made this species popular, and unfortunately, not a lot of people know how to handle this species. And the species that I'm talking about is the blue hippo tang. Now, I have no experience with this fish, but this is from advice from a saltwater fish store owner, and I agreed with him. Blue hippo tangs get huge. They swim hundreds of miles a day, and there's no way to replicate that in the aquarium hobby. You just need a massive, massive aquarium, at least 300 gallons. Now, blue hippo tangs are also prone to ick, velvet, and other bad marine diseases. Blue hippo tangs also have somewhat of a high mortality rate in the aquarium hobby, unfortunately. So I agree that blue hippo tangs do not belong in the aquarium hobby. There are better tang options like yellow tangs, purple tangs, etc. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Aquatic Wetline. Some fish are very controversial. I know I might get a little bit of hate for mentioning flower horns or blood parrots, but hey, it's my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, American Alex Cardinale. Don't forget, Monday and Tuesday this week, I am going to be hosting my 9-year YouTube anniversary. And on my 9-year YouTube anniversary, I, Aqua Alex Cardinale, will be doing a live Aquaria unboxing and an Imperial Tropicals unboxing. I will also be discussing South American fish, and on night 2, Tuesday, I'm going to give a 1-year update on my 125-gallon aquarium. So fish keepers and anyone that considers themselves a loyal fan of mine, be there or be square on my 9-year YouTube anniversary, Monday and Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on my YouTube channel, American Alex Cardinale. With that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening or day, and thank you so much for watching this episode of Aquatic Wetline. Happy fish keeping, everyone, and remember to feed your fish quality fish food and do water changes. Good night, fish keepers.